Thank you, Kanish. So he has praised me because he has given me the toughest topic to speak about. And that was because of that I was on a Google Scholars and Google, trying to search and make sense of it. A philosophy of working for others. Yeah, why we should work for others, why we should help others. And I started searching, and there were some fancy words that started coming to me. Altruism, selfishness, a pro-social behavior. And I was really like, yesterday it was almost a sleepless night for me, to make sense. Some guys are arguing that altruism is a selfishness itself. Some are saying being selfish itself is altruism. There's a difference in pro-social behavior and altruism. And I was like, what I'm going to speak tomorrow. And I realized why I'm even going in this theories, because as I went more searching it, I realized there is a classic theory of selfish gene. Yeah. And then there is a counter argument that there is an unselfish gene. So then I started searching YouTube videos. I got videos where they are saying that a kids as a young children or a babies, they are very much selfish. And then there is a counter evidence that no, babies are not selfish. They are actually very, very helpful. I was completely confused. What I'm going to speak with my young friends, how and why we should help others. So I decided, let me change the story. Let me not go into this any kind of a classic words, being focusing on yourself. If you focus on yourself, obviously you're going to trade off, you're not going to help others. And if you start helping too much others, maybe you're going to losing something that you could have get. So typically there is this classic dilemma. I realize there's a classic debate, should we focus on self or should we help other? Because if you do one thing, you cannot do other. And if you do other, you are less on first. So there's a typical bipolarity. Should I be selfish or should I be helping others? I decided, let me visit that, am I helpful or am I selfish? And I decided to go back and visit, what was my childhood. And I decided to start thinking, I was as a child selfish or selfless? And the answer was very simple. I was born selfish, Whenever there is a chocolate, I make sure that I put it in my pocket. Whenever there is a good sweet, good ice cream, there's no chance that I, baby, as can share it with anyone else. And I realized that, this helping anybody was not in my vocabulary as a baby. Yeah. So by nature, maybe humans are selfish, maybe. So I started taking it forward. I was selfish, but what happened then? Then I realized, over the period, it was my mother and father who started scolding me, Gaurav, 2 chocolate diye, 1 chocolate share karo. And slowly there was a strong force that if I don't share it with someone, I would not get even a 1. Yeah, and I realized, okay, I have to share something, and it was against my willing, but because everybody else around me is forcing, I realized maybe I need to help. So I was helping because everybody else was forcing on me that I should be helping. What happened over the period, I realized that if I share 1 chocolate to other, my mother is getting very, very happy, and she gives a 1 rupees coin to me. Gaurav, you did a good behavior. Yeah. When I did a good behavior, my school teachers felt this is a very decent boy. And first annual gathering, I would get an award. Gaurav is the nicest boy in a school. Yeah. So I was helping because I was getting rewards. I realized, if I do this, I can get 1 more coin. If I do this, I can get a next year also good certificate that I'm the nicest boy in the school. And some weird certificate used to be that time. But yeah, so I realized that I'm helping because I'm getting something in return. And it still exists. We do something because somebody else in return would help us. As I started helping and helping more, I realized that over the period, it's not about I'm getting something or not, but it is I'm helping someone whom I think they are mine. So if in college or if in school I get 2 chocolates as a birthday gift of someone's birthday, I would bring 1 very privately to my mother. And I would come home and will give it to her, and I will feel so nice that I gave it 1 chocolate to my mother. Or if I get something at home, I would make sure, if this is some good tiffin, I would go and it would be definitely share with my best friend. Not all friends. Yeah. So I was helping because I felt somebody are mine, and obviously somebody are not mine. Yeah. So I moved from being transaction oriented, getting reward, towards a relationship oriented. And these are the guys whom I would help independent of anything reward I get or not. As a Gaurav, I started developing this personality of helping others. I realized I help And then everybody else start praising me, relatives would come home and they would give something, and I would make sure that I give one each to everybody in the house, and then I eat, and they would say, wow, kya ladka banaya hai, how nice he is, such a good boy, and one more chocolate to you, and so on. And I realized I help and people start praising me. If I help, everybody think I'm a good guy. And that idea that even if I'm not getting any reward in return, if I help, people praise me, was something that was driving me to help others. As I move on, this was now becoming my nature, that I help others and everybody say good about me, and therefore I keep helping. Then what happened over the period, I realized that in a school they are teaching that helping somebody is a morality. They taught us that if you're going by school in Pune, I brought up in Pune, in a bus there will be generally no seats. So they would say that if you are sitting and some adult will come in the bus, then you should kind of vacant your seat and give it to them. And I was like, oh, this is a morality. And then I did it first time, and I realized, yeah, I'm a good citizen. But next time, even if there is no older person sitting in a bus, I would say, yaar, koi to aa jao, so that I can give my seat to them. And that is the kind of a way you start living up the moral values. You start understanding that something is good and something is not bad. I mean, similarly, if there is some person who is crossing the road, he has some disability, is blind, you should help them. And literally, you start searching whom I can help. That's the way the morality start getting onto you. So I was helping, now not because I was getting reward, now not because anybody was forcing me, now not because I'm just feeling good about it, but I realized that I'm helping because it's a moral thing to do. Over the period, I started growing, as some speakers have already pointed out. You're exposed in a school to various situations. So my next school took us to a kind of a urban slum and showed us the reality of life. I mean, I was a privileged kid. So when we came back from that visit, they told me, Gaurav, calculate the number of rupees that you have spent on the things that you are wearing. A Reebok shoes, 1,000 rupees, and a beautiful Nike t-shirt, 5,000 rupees, and a spec, 1,000 rupees. And now calculate the total cost that is on your body, and it was coming around 10,000 rupees. And then they said, okay, this is a family income of 3 families combined staying here in a month. And I was like, oh, so should I do something? Yeah, I'm privileged. I have something more which others don't have. And I realized I have to give others. So any new things come to me, I started giving it others. Whether it's in Diwali, distributing the crackers, whether it is getting new clothes, giving it to someone. Not only that, if you get something, you put it in front of God saying that, I'm lucky, so I got it, and everybody else is not getting it. And there is a sense of guilt that I am privileged and therefore I need to help others. So now it was not about being good. Now it was not about being morally right. Now it was not about being forced. Now it is not being only getting reward, but because I am guilty to be privileged. Over the period, I realized, okay, this guilt is not something, working really well, and I need to be something different. We used to go for a trek, and I used to be a very healthy, athletic body, and if there is a rock patch, I have a natural gift of height, so anybody who is lesser than me, I would push him and help him to go on that rock patch. I realized I am able to help because I have a capability to help. My guilt shifted towards a sense of responsibility. I am privileged and therefore I am responsible to help others. I help because I can. This was a big shift for me. Born selfish to somebody who started believing that I have a capacity and therefore I can help others. When I got my first salary, I spent entire salary, going to the kids, taking them to the restaurant where they have never eaten. And I felt, I can do that, so I can do it. Over the period, I realized, and this is good, but still there is something, all these elements are coming and talking about, I'm doing something because somebody is recognizing me. Yeah. And first time I went and kind of donated my blood in a normal blood camp, where I was not aware my blood is going to whom. There was nobody to recognize that I have given blood and they are going to say and come thank you to me. I was alone sitting on that bed, pumping my hand, giving the blood, not knowing whom I am giving the blood. But in that scenario also I was feeling great. A blood which I don't know where going, by giving I am feeling great about myself. And I realized that in helping my heart is growing. I help not because I am getting reward, I help not because it is morally right, I help not because I am feeling good, but I help because my heart grows. As I started working on this thought more and more, I realized I am helping not because for anybody else. I am helping because I am. I realize what is difference between me and others. We all were brought with a big bang, and we all are just connected together. There is so much of interconnectivity between me and my family, me and my city, me and my nation, me and entire world. Are we any different from each other? If we are not different from any other, is there this bipolarity between self and other do really exist? Is this double dimension, are they reality or they are false change that we have created within ourselves? And I started realizing as I more work for others, I grow more. As I grow more, I am able to work more for others. And indeed, this self and others are not actually different from each other. I realize we are part of this big concentrated circle where self is an integrated part of family, family is an integrated part of community, community is an integrated part of country, country is an integrated part of world, world is an integrated part of universe. And if you just reverse this, it is a universe which exists in me. Once I realize that universe, it is what is exist in me, I don't need any justification or cause for helping. I help because I am. And this is what is a beautiful philosophy of African community, which is called as Ubuntu. I am because we are, and because we are, I have to help. Thank you.